Good afternoon. This is Sunil Sundaraj with njvarsity.rivals.com. This afternoon, I'm honored to welcome in Frank Riggio of Verona High School, senior running back there on the football team. Frank, thank you so much, for taking some time out today. Congratulations on just absolutely a stellar career there at Verona High School.
No, thank you very much. I really appreciate everything you've done reporting for us, myself and my team. We really appreciate it, so thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Frank, I know it was a difficult season, I said with, this COVID-19 pandemic, but you're still able to rush, over 800 yards, 9 touchdowns. I mean, overall, close to 3,300 yards, 53 career touchdowns, just phenomenal numbers you put up your career on the gridiron there at Verona High School. Can you, a couple of weeks removed now from the season being over, but can you just, have you been able to sit back and just reflect on just what you were able to do, at Verona?
Yes, definitely. Obviously, it was very sad ending to the season. It's been like this for a bunch of teams. Obviously, this pandemic has really been very bad for people's lives, health, for everything, businesses. It's been very difficult. So just having the opportunity to be able to play my senior season with some of my best friends I've created through football, it's been a real honor. It was great that the coaches, they did a great job managing it, making sure nobody got sick. We did a great job throughout the season. And it's honestly a tribute to our players as well. We definitely, this year, with the whole pandemic, we made it a lot stricter for football. It was definitely that you can't just join it since you thought it was going to be fun. It was a real commitment. You really had to put in a lot of work, make sure, obviously, around the right people, that you weren't getting sick, going out, doing that thing. So, it was great. As obviously our team, they did an amazing job this year. Everyone really pushed. And just reflecting on the career, it couldn't have been without the coaches, the teammates, some of the best players I ever played with. It couldn't have been anything without them. It was just a real honor playing with them. And those are the people that honestly we pushed each other a lot during practice, and that made us get better individually. So, it was great, coaches, players, and everything. I really appreciate all the work they've done. And as a senior class, not a lot of people have been through the experience. So it's really a tribute to our captains and our other senior players that have made a really great impact on this program.
Yeah, it's terrific. Heading into your senior year, your mindset, just knowing this is the final run for you, and can you just walk me through that process? And then, of course, the season's starting a little bit later, said there in October. But, just the opportunity to get back there out on the football field, be, as you said, with your teammates, with your coaches, how special that was, Frank.
No, that was certainly very special. And after my junior season, my junior season, we had a lot of success, making the MetLife, going 12-0, winning states. But personally, I want to work on a lot of things. I want to work on my speed. I want to get bigger and fast, obviously bigger. I was right after the season. Just being able to get in the weight room, get bigger. You really can't take when you're really dedicated to the sport. Obviously, you need time to recover after a season, but right when you're able to recover, it's getting in the weight room, going to the field, doing ladder work, working on mobility, just being able to. Honestly, that was my main goal for this year. Gain mobility for the season. Obviously, that creates less injuries, and just being able to be bigger and just hitting the holes faster, getting better vision. And really just trying to get that breakaway speed and just obviously work on that. Everything creates to it. And like I said before, during this whole pandemic in the summer, we were able to get a bunch of guys working out towards the fields. Obviously, we did it in a socially distanced way, but we worked hard. We knew there was one common goal. Even if there wasn't a state championship, we want to win games as a team. And that was our mindset into the season. There's obviously a ton of uncertainties, but we came physical. A lot of our guys this year, especially, we didn't have a lot of experience, and it didn't help not having a summer, but that wasn't an excuse for us. We adjusted as the season went on, and we really went hard this season. I mean, it was just absolutely great experience. So all these 4 years, it was amazing.
Yeah, I've seen the videos, Frank. It's so impressive to see what, you're able to do, not only, with weightlifting, but on the treadmill, and then the agility exercises really, paid off here, Frank.
Yes.
Um, I mean, look, I have the utmost respect. I mean, with, the size and your weight, I mean, being able to absorb that punishment week after week, you talk about, your coaches and teammates. I'm sure your athletic trainer as well, getting
Oh,
you
yes.
prepped, and ready, for the grind week after week. Can you just speak to that, Frank?
Yes, I mean, our athletic trainer, Jay, he's one of the best out there, no doubt. He's able to help me recover, my teammates. Obviously, want to give a shout out to him because he's absolutely amazing. And second off, I mean, yes, it's a very physical sport, but that's what we prepare for. That's what we train for. So, I mean, I want to get hit, honestly, to be honest. I want to be able to hit somebody. I love it. I love the physicality of the sport. I love being physical, obviously in a fashion that it plays with the rules. But just being able to get out there, I want to be able to deliver a hit, make someone miss when they're trying to tackle me. And that's what I love about the sport. I mean, there's so many unique aspects to it, and it's really incredible how obviously our line, especially this year, last year, and my years previous, they do a great job getting in front of guys, pushing them forward, making holes for me. So they take a lot of the beating off me they don't get enough, honestly, credit in the trenches as well. And Coach Bose, our offensive line coach, he does a great job coaching them into being the best they possibly could. So.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, that, for a team, I mean, offensive line, QB, wide receivers, you guys have to be all on the same page. Once you take that hand off, and then, as you said, being able to explode through the holes and, and the gaps. I mean, that's just, it's so critical to have that chemistry, Frank.
Yes, certainly. It's definitely, especially our receivers too. If it's a run play, they're going to get downfield. They're going to block that cornerback, and they're not going to let him be able to tackle me. The receivers do a great job. Fullback, when I'm following him through the hole, he's going to find something for me. He's going to hit someone for me. Kale too, the quarterback, when he does a zone read, he's going to make sure if the DN's crashing, he's going to pull it and he's going to get yards as well. And he did a great job doing that throughout the season. And I mean, for myself, just honestly, just try and do whatever that helps the team. If I see a guy right in front of me and it was a miss block, okay, I'm going to rally up that lineman, make sure, all right, we're going to get through with this play and we're going to fight through. Like I said before, I love taking hits. I love delivering it. And honestly, it's just the team chemistry that we're able to build even without a summer. Incredible.
That's great. And I think it's so cool is that, like, having a quarterback who's a dual threat, who not only can, throw the ball, but as well as run. I think, that opens it up even, more for you, Frank.
Yes, certainly. Kale, he's a great athlete, did a great job throwing the ball this year, run the ball this year. Receivers as well, obviously are there catching it. Steve Petro, James Haveron, Joey Petro, they all did great jobs as well. Derek, Marcos, they did great jobs catching the ball, blocking downfield. And honestly, I want to also say for my fullback, Zach Booker, he does a great job. I mean, he'll deliver the hit on people and he'll give me a seam to be able to run. And him, the linemen, they don't get enough credit for everything they do, since obviously if someone scores a touchdown, if it's me, Kale, or the receivers, it all starts up front with getting through. So, I mean, we just have great chemistry and we want all of each other to succeed. So that's what the good thing about our team was, that we all want to be able to win, and we all, even if one person doesn't have a big stat game, that didn't matter to us. We just wanted to be able to win and do it, and everyone trying to do their best in an orderly fashion. So, I mean, it was a great job that nobody was selfish on our team and didn't want to take all. We all gave it to each other. Whatever was open, we took, and we did a great job doing that, especially this year.
Yeah, it was great to see you guys recognized for your efforts, especially personally, first team all group, first team all county, Essex County, and then first team, Super Football Conference. And then just to see, your teammates also rewarded for, or honored for their accomplishments. I'm sure that, for you guys, I know it was tough, not being able to be in a playoff scenario this year and then compete for a state championship, even regional. But just the fact that, having a winning record and just, again, receiving those honors, definitely, I think, it makes you feel, a lot better, Frank.
Yes, it does make us feel a lot better. Obviously, since there's no playoffs or states or anything,
Yeah.
just going out there and having fun, just being with each other for the last time. That's what the sport's about. It's just having fun
Yeah.
as well. And we all did that this year, even with the shortened season, even with the pandemic. We just went out there, had a great time. We're able to win some games, so it was awesome.
Hey, can you? I mean, first game, said that you took the field, but last, can you walk me last home game and even that final game you played, I think against Hoboken, it said where you were able to score your 50th, career TD. I mean, I mean, you can't write a better script than that, Frank.
Yes. Hoboken was an exceptional team. They won a lot of games this year. They did an absolutely great job. But honestly, just giving it to our coaching staff as well. Our coaching staff did a great job planning out that game for us. We adjusted some defensive parts. We also did offense. We were able to, offensively, when we first drove down the field, I was like, wow, like we're here. We're playing right now. We're playing physical. This is how we should be playing throughout the whole season. And it was just, we continued that. We did not skip a beat when we were playing. Coaches did a great job calling plays. We executed. That was just the preparation throughout the week that we were able to continue that and just be able to show it on the field that we're worthy of, obviously, since there's no states or anything, but we are worthy of being in that competition, being able to compete. And every single person on that field did an amazing job.
I mean, how emotional? I mean, it said, wearing that Verona, it said football uniform, knowing, it said, taking that field for the last time. And then, of course, once, the final whistle blew. I mean, can you just the emotions that were running through your mind, Frank?
Yes. I mean, obviously, we weren't aware that it was going to be our last game, but we certainly took it in that was our last home game. For us seniors, this was going to be the last time we were ever going to step on the field at Verona together. So, I mean, we were talking, I still remember in the parking lot when we were warming up about to go out. Coach Bose brought us together as senior group and was like, you guys want to be able to make your memories, show that this was your legacy here, show that you guys are, Verona, wear the name on your back proudly and in front of you, Verona, obviously, in your last name. And we really went out there and we showed that we're going to leave a lasting impression for years before us and years that come up, that we did a great job just being able to play our last game through these circumstances on that field. And the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen, all week during practice, I mean, they understood for us seniors that it's going to be difficult. It was sad that was going to be the last time. I was personally very emotional about it. So were all of the senior teammates. And then just finding out, obviously, before our last game, the day before, that we were going to be shut down. It wasn't a matter. We're in a pandemic. Like, you have to it has to be, that's important. People's healths are important to us. Mm-hmm. So there was no way. We were just proud that we were able to play that many games, and we were very excited that, we ended on a good note. We ended winning our last game against a very good team on our field. And it was just a great accomplishment having, I think it was 7 games together as a senior group, because in the beginning we weren't even sure if we were going to have any. So, I mean, it was very sad. We were all very emotional. But once we stepped back from it, we realized how happy we were that we were able to even have this last season together. So it was definitely emotional, but realizing we were very grateful for what we had.
Yeah, it's a true brotherhood. I mean, that's what everybody talks about, the game of football, and that, like, just because 4 years ends, it doesn't mean, like, this will carry on, for years to come. Must have been a full circle moment for you, Frank. Knowing where you came from your freshman year, how you were able to build it up. I mean, just looking at your stats. I mean, just that meteor, rise, from sophomore to junior to senior year. Again, just it just again, just the moment, knowing that, look, all your hard work, said the blood, sweat, and tears really, paid off, in the end for you, Frank.
Yes, it certainly paid off. And just building as from freshman year on to senior year, it was obviously the teammates I had that made me better. My freshman year, just building it up. Even when I was a sophomore, my brother was the starting running back, and he was a senior when I was a sophomore. So he
Hmm.
really pushed me to be the best possible because he knew next year that hopefully I'd be taking that spot and work for that spot. So he
Yeah.
set me in a real good position, as long with the other players on the team and the coaching staff to really push myself to be the best possible. And then I mean, on the off time, I really put in a lot of effort into the sport, going in the weight room, going to the field, working on different exercises and different movements to be able to be the best running back. So I certainly do take a lot of effort into the sport of football, and just to show the career that not myself, but the seniors, my friends, honestly my brothers that I've had throughout this year, it really shows how much we progressed throughout these 4 years of football. And
Yeah.
it's awesome just being able to see that progression, that increase and increase and increase. So it's great.
Yeah, I was saying, as now a senior, a leader, being able to pass that torch, pass that knowledge, down to the freshmen, the sophomores, the underclass. I'm sure that they took a lot, from you, as said, your experiences, as said these past 4 years, Frank.
Yes, that's honestly one of the most important things is just keeping that winning tradition that is in Verona. I hope I did everything I could, as a leader, as a football player, and as a person to be able to help these juniors, sophomores, and freshmen,
Hmm.
not only become good football players but better people like off the field as well. That's honestly the most important thing, and that's what we base Verona football off of: just having respect, even if we don't win a game, but we want the other team to respect us. And I feel that we certainly did that as a group, and we certainly showed it. And I really hope that the freshmen, sophomore, and juniors, they can carry that tradition on. And I really hope I did a good job with them helping, be a better leader, to become a better person. So,
Yeah, I didn't want to forget your head coach.
yes.
Can you talk about Coach Batty? Just the job he did. These it said during your time there, Frank.
Yes. Coach Batty, he's done an absolutely amazing job for me. He set me up in all the positions that I've been in, and he's just made me the best possible football player and person I can be. Honestly, if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I'd be in this situation right now, with everything as a team. As I don't think we would be able to do any of that together. So, I mean, Coach Batty, he's very he's just a great guy in general. He pushes us to be the maximum player we can be, and he'll talk to you like we won't just lose contact with him after the season. Like this is something that we'll always have that bond together. Me as well as the other coaches, we'll have that strong bond not only for our 4 years but after. And I think that's certainly so important to be able to create that with coaches.
That's great. Hey, I wanted to go back to the 2019 season, a magical year for you guys. I think I was reading, first, 12-win season, Verona football history. I mean, winning a state championship uh, and a regional championship there at MetLife Stadium. I mean, for you personally, rushing over 2,000 yards. I mean, I think it was 37 touchdowns overall. I mean, what was that like, especially those last 2 weeks? And also, I read that you played through an injury as well, Frank. I mean, just can you sum up what the said that that season represented?
Yes, that season honestly represented Verona football. That's what we do. We love winning games, and just we were just a physical group of people. We want to go out there. We want to be able to hit the person across from us till the whistle. We weren't going to go till the whistle ended, and that was just. I mean, we had a heavy senior class. They did an absolutely amazing job, carrying that tradition to us as well. And I mean, it was just a great experience being able to play in MetLife. Like just
Yeah.
walking out that tunnel was like, wow, this is awesome. Like we're here,
Mhm.
we're ready to play. But we didn't let that distract us or anything. This is still a football game. Doesn't matter where. Like coach would always say to us, doesn't matter where, doesn't matter when, doesn't matter who. And we took that mentality with us throughout every single game. And it obviously showed throughout the field since we put in a lot of hard work as a team. And it really proved that we should be there, and that should be the continued of Verona football.
I mean, you guys were absolutely dominant. I mean, those last 2 weeks were just, I mean, incredible. I mean, scoring what 84 points. I mean, it just and the fact, I mean, the numbers that you were able to put up. But I have to ask you, I mean, when, it says you're starting to the end zone there at MetLife. I mean, knowing that you scored, it said on the NFL, it said turf. I mean, I don't. Again, I mean, it must give you goosebumps knowing that, it said, and it just the day you were able to put up those numbers. And Frank, can you talk about that?
Yes. Just like I said before, just walking on the field is
Yeah,
like, this is awesome.
yeah,
And it was great to honestly see. Verona's a small town.
yeah,
Seeing that whole side of it just filled, that just shows
yeah,
the community, the support that we've had throughout the years. And
yeah,
it really showed. We had obviously former football players at the game. And just honestly, just being able to score on that field and being able to see the success that we had as a team on that field. It shows that we didn't let the stage get too big for us.
hmm hmm
That we were prepared for it. It didn't matter. We could have played anywhere with that. We wanted to play anywhere against Lyndhurst.
yeah,
It was just amazing, especially being on an NFL field and just being able to create that much success on it. It showed the type of team that we were and that we weren't going to let anything really affect us. We just want to go out there, play football, have fun, and win games.
yeah. I mean, being able to hoist, said those trophies the last 2 weeks, and then of course at MetLife, and then as you alluded to the community, and I've been to a couple home games, seeing how much I mean people parked on the side of the road. I mean, just the enthusiasm from everyone involved. I mean, just that's sort of one of my questions going to be I mean, what makes it so special? But as you said, it's a small town, and it just seems like everybody comes together as a whole. Said for this football program, Frank.
Yes, it certainly brings the community together. I personally feel at the games. I mean, when we played against Cedar Grove last year, even though it was at Cedar Grove, I mean that's a big rivalry for us and for them as
Mm-hmm.
well. They're a great
Mm-hmm.
team too.
Yeah.
It just showed how much support we had from our fans, from many alum as well that have came to the school. It's important to us, and it's important to the other people in the community, and it really brings us together as one. And no matter what, it just shows how important football and how important tradition is to the town of Verona.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows every single game. Obviously, this year with the limited fans and everything, but we would have people that would do anything to be able to get to those games.
Yeah.
Personally, I had a lot of people ask for tickets, but unfortunately, due to the
Yeah.
circumstances we were in, but it shows that it's a football everyone loves in the community, brings us together. So
Yeah. I was going to say, like, the support within the high school. You're talking about teachers. You're talking about, the principal, athletic director. Can you just, talk about that as well, Frank?
yes, certainly throughout the school year, especially last year, obviously this year, it was very different with being in school and being hybrid and remote. Every Friday we wear our jerseys during school, and it really showed that the teachers, the principal, the vice principal, um, athletic director, it shows that it matters to them. They do a lot. They take a lot of time out of their day to go to games to set it up. So I mean, I like to thank them as well. They do a great job just being able to get us on that field, get us with opponents, and setting all that up. So I mean, it's really important to the whole entire staff just to be able to have those games set up and having them with everyone there and stuff. So it's great.
That's good. That's terrific. I not only want to say, I mean, what you're able to do as an athlete, but in the classroom, I think a 3.7 GPA. I mean, just being able to balance out. That's no easy feat, Frank. I said, like, again, with all the demands and the rigors of, being a football player. But again, I mean, just incredible that you were able to do that. I mean, can you just talk about, being able to balance that out?
Yes. So it is obviously academics is the number one thing for me, and my family. Football, it lasts, I plan on playing in college, but after that it's over. Academics is the number one thing, and you have to be able to balance that football life or what other sports you play with academics. And I mean, coach would understand, like sometimes I was late to practice. He would understand that I had to stay after with a teacher, get extra help. That's the number one thing. They won't get mad at you for that. And that shows that academics is the number one priority for our team, for our coaches. And personally, I have to put a lot of work into school in order to succeed, because that honestly sets up so many opportunities for you in the future, with jobs and everything. Like, people aren't going to want to see a football player that doesn't have the best grades. If you're a football player and you have good grades, people are going to be able to see that you're able to create a balance, have time management, and it will show a lot in the future that you're going to able to, during job, be able to balance both those things. And I mean, it's a great combination, since you really can't, like, you don't have all the time. Like, you have to be able to fix that schedule in order to be able to succeed in the classroom. So I personally take a lot of pride into that, and just being able to set those opportunities up into the future. So.
Sure, you've been on, well, it's virtual, but like with colleges and universities, can you just speak to that, Frank? Like, as far as, how that process is working out for you right now?
Yes, that it's obviously going very well. Just being able to speak, like I said, like with many other coaches, getting a feel for not only my fit but for their fit as well. It's obviously a different process than any year that either of my brothers have been through, or anyone has really been through, with the whole pandemic. So I mean, just for the senior class in general, it's obviously very difficult. But for a recruiting standpoint, sometimes it's tough to be able to get on campus with all restrictions and guidelines that there are. But honestly, you just have to build, like I said before, time management, being able to visit schools, be able to get all your homework done. That's definitely something that's important. And this decision for me personally for college, it's not only going to be 4 years of me playing football and me going for academics. It's going to set up another 40 years of my job. So, I mean, it's a really important decision. Definitely taking a lot of time into being able to cut out things and manage it and see what's the best fit for me and the school as well. So, I mean, the process is definitely very fun to go through. Being able to have that experience, it's honestly just great to be able to have the opportunity to even play football in college, because it is very difficult. And for coaches to be able to recruit me, I'm honestly honored to be able to have that opportunity.
That's great. Just have a couple more, Frank. Can't thank you enough for the time. Just getting back to the game of football, and I've seen a trend, not only with high school, but even college. Like, you probably could even, go into the pros, smaller prototype, running backs, and I'm curious because I've seen it here in Jersey, interviewing a bunch, but, any, running backs that you try to, like, sort of maybe, model your game after or emulate. I was just curious about that, Frank.
Yes. Personally, my family is a football family. I have two older brothers. They both played. My one brother is a sophomore at Gettysburg playing football. My oldest brother graduated from Muhlenberg. And personally, I try to model my game off of them. They're important role models to me. Yeah. And my one brother, he's very fast. My one brother, he loves going downhill. So I personally think I'm in between them. Combination, I can run inside, I can run outside as well. But I personally do model my game after them, since they are such role models to me.
That's great. And don't want to forget about your parents as well, Frank.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about what they've meant to you? In the journey.
My parents, they're the best people out there. They do everything for us, me, my brothers. They will not skip anything to go to any of our sporting events. They will pay for any speed and agility, any weightlifting, anything we need. They'll do literally anything to be able to benefit us into being better people, better athletes, and better students in school. A thank you wouldn't personally be enough to describe how much gratitude I have towards them. So, I mean, I have to do a lot of things to be able to make it up to them. So they're very important people in my life, and they do an absolutely amazing job just being able to set up me and my brothers into having success.
That's great. Final question. You talk about role models, with your brothers. I think you set the standard. I mean, with what you've been able to do, again, on and off the field, you know, I'm sure, you think back, you were younger, once, you see all the kids playing Pee Wee, junior football, and, trying to move up that ladder. And, said eventually you reach, high school football one day. Just curious, what your message, to younger kids, and just, them, wanting to, succeed in this sport, Frank.
Oh, certainly. Personally, my message to them would be just work hard in school, be a good person, help out in the community. Those stuff are so important to be able to succeed in life in anything that you do. Obviously, like I said, if you want to be a great football player, go to the field sometimes, work out, be a leader in the community. Just help your teammates into being anything possible on the football field and outside of it. It's certainly important. Both my dad and my two brothers, they actually coached the younger kids. And I showed up to one of their practices before and just trying to see, I mean, it's awesome. I really would love to be the best role model possible to those players and someone to be able to look up to. That's personally, and would be a great accomplishment of mine if the younger kids would be able to look up and show that you have to be a leader on the field. You have to be able to manage academics. That's the number one thing that's going to give you opportunities in life, and just be a better person in the community. If you see someone that's having a hard time, help them. If you see a teacher and they're carrying a bunch of books, be able to help them. Be like, oh, excuse me, do you need help doing that? Just being a good person, and the football aspect will come. People will respect you, and especially the name on your back and the name in front of you. Our coach always says that, and I take that to heart too. Verona on the front and your last name on the back. Represent that, represent your parents, represent your family, and represent your team most of all. And I think that's an important message that all young kids should be able to carry. And obviously it's a lot easier just to say than to do, but to be able to back up those actions, it shows that you'll have a successful life.
Hey, you couldn't have put it any better. You're definitely a class act. Said, wishing you continued success. Again, just congratulations just on your accomplishments. I think again, you're definitely a role model. It's great to see kids, the high school kids from New Jersey, be able to again, accomplish this. So again, just wishing you all the best, Frank.
Yes, thank you very much, and I appreciate you reaching out, creating this interview. I really appreciate it. It's really great just to be able to speak to you. I know you've been to a lot of our games, so
yeah,
just being able to talk to you, it's great. I'm very happy you reached out. Appreciate it.
Thank you.